Hello.
It looks good now. It looks like you guys. No, it's not you, Jared. Can you guys hear me now? I think I have it fixed. So let me know if you guys can hear me. I can't lip read. I know, right? Let me know. Truly unplugging your mic and plugging it. Okay, good. You guys can hear me now. I had to set the settings on it differently. Okay, good. So the video is good. The audio is good now, right? Good. I think we're good to go. Because you know how it is with me and technology and new stuff. And so awesome. We are good. So welcome to day 2. Good. Wendy's here. Good, good, good. I'm so glad. So how are you guys feeling about day 1? A lot of you guys were pulling tarot cards. You posted it in the group. Good. Thanks, Wendy, for that. I appreciate that. We're all good. Thank you, Cecilia, for letting us know. So you guys should really start diving deep into. MJ gave me a bunch of mushrooms, so good. I'm glad. I just had to tweak my settings a little bit, so we're good. That's what happens when you do lives, right? You just never know. Awesome. So, day 2. I got the hiccups, y'all, because I've been talking too much today. So I love doing the spirit communication challenge and the stuff that you guys are coming up with, especially your tarot cards, especially the intentions that you guys have been setting for this entire 5 days together. This is just day 2 of us being together. Hey, Jeanette, thanks for hanging out with us. And Netta said she's doing really good and more focused. Yes, that's what this 5-day challenge is going to be about. And that was my intentions, is to create this 5-day challenge so you can become more focused in your spirit communication, open up your gifts, step into your gifts, and to really release some of the stuff that which we're going to talk about today on day 2 is some of the fears about being a powerful spirit communication. But I wanted to just reiterate that you can still win prizes. You have to make sure that you post within 24 hours of the daily thread every single day. I'm keeping track of y'all, so you guys just to get to see me a little bit. But every day I do the back end and I track. I have a spreadsheet and I track who showed up, who's commented, who's went on the live, who's been posting, and all y'all get points for that. Make sure you are signed up for the not newsletter, but for the 5-day challenge. And the link is posted in the pin post in the group. And so the more you engage, the more you comment, the more you share, the more you connect, the more you dive deep into your gifts, the more you communicate, and more you actually just come out of what I call hiding behind your gifts. And this is a sacred space that I have made for all of us to really talk about talking to the dead and just parting the veil of the spiritual world and our world here. And Jen said, hey, Jen, thanks for joining us live. I made it live this time. I know. Thank you for being here. For all the people who are joining me live, thank you, thank you, thank you. I know some of us can't because of work and other, hey, Corinne's live too, other obligations. So I really appreciate you guys for showing up with us live. So those are the ways that you can win prizes. I'm going to be giving away the big Kahuna prize, which is the 30-minute one-on-one session with me. And that's going to be announced on Monday. Sneaking in at work, at least I know. I used to do that too. When I lived in corporate America, I would always sneak lives and trainings in when I could. So I feel you. I've been there for sure, Lisa, for sure. So give me some comments about how you felt about day one. MJ's like, yeah. You do what you need to do, right? When you are called to become a spiritual communicator or to step up to the next level, you kind of find time and you kind of squeeze it in when you can, because you know this is the next level for you. So I love that you're doing that. I love your dedication, Lisa. I love it. So type in the comments how you feel about day one so far. I would love to know your feedback. I've been getting lots of messages, lots of PMs, lots of reading through all the posts, and I'm trying to comment on all of the posts. I'm sorry if I can't comment on most of them or on yours, but I try to comment on all of them as much as I can. So Wendy said, I'm totally acting like this is a work meeting. That it shows on my calendar. I know, just act like you're taking notes. Yeah. Put a do not disturb on my on your office. That's what I used to do. I used to put in there, do not disturb in the meeting. So yeah, I get y'all. Netta said, I loved it. My kids are listening in and I really helped them. Aww. Teaching the witchlings. So let's get started with day 2 of the Spirit Communication 5-day challenge. So glad that you are here with me live. So we are going to just dive into really a lot of cool stuff today, which is one of the important days. We're going to start with one of the most, well, not the most important, but it's really important for a lot of us that are struggling with spirit communication and who's struggling with what I call like imposter syndrome or the fears of being seen, right? Jeanette said, great view and explanations on Claire's. Thank you. Awesome. It was good. Had lots of weird dreams last night. I hope you guys are, if you guys are getting dreams, I hope you guys are journaling them for sure. So today we're going to talk about some of the fears. I want you to share with me how you're kind of fearful about stepping into your spirit communication, right? Are you afraid or afraid of embracing your gifts, right? Are you afraid of judgment from others? Is that why you kind of like put this on the back burner about why you kind of close down your clairs? The lack of self-confidence, you may be working with that. You may be like, yeah, that's very, very specific issue that I'm dealing with. Or maybe you're just afraid of other people are going to judge you, or what spirit communication really is. Jen said she has some crazy dreams too. It's the collective, the hive mind. Corinne said morning is, oh my gosh, 6:30 in the morning, but wouldn't miss it. Oh, thank you, Corinne, for being here. So I just wanted to talk about releasing some of the fears, because a lot of you I know are suffering from this. And this is why you keep hiding in the closet and not stepping out into embracing your gifts or shut it down, right? We talked about yesterday a little bit about how some people experience kind of wonky things. They didn't know how to master it, spirit communication. They were afraid of their gifts. So it's very much in the forefront of a lot of you, and why you're just kind of hiding and not coming out and embracing your gifts. So what really is your, I wouldn't say issue, but what is your number one fear about spirit communication? And I'm going to give you some tips and how I'm going to help you with the imposter syndrome, because a lot of us, by show of hands, a lot of us have suffered imposter syndrome, especially when you see all these people online getting what I call hits, intuitive hits, right? And they're doing the right things. They're doing really well. They're, you know, they get confirmations, and you're just kind of like, man, I could never do that. I could never be that person, kind of thing. So what are your kind of your fears of being a spirit communicator or stepping into your clairs? So Sherry said, fear of embracing my power due to past traumas associated with using them. And what others think of me. Yes, we're going to talk about that. When I share visions I had. Correct, Sherry. I can totally relate to that, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. Jeanette said, I had fears and lack of self-confidence and had been told multiple times in a reading that I've had many past lives as a witch and been persecuted and executed. Having the witch wound and not healing that witch wound is going to keep you from stepping forward into your power. It doesn't mean that it will never go away, okay? Or that it will go away, because it won't. It will never go away. Now, when I first started, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what happened, because I was in the same boat. I was afraid of my spiritual gifts. I was afraid that I'm going to be judged. I was afraid that I was going to get shit wrong. I was afraid that, you know, I was going to open a door to, and all these spirits were going to come in and just, you know, I was going to be possessed and demonized and all this kind of stuff. So I know exactly what you guys are going through, because I've been there. But they never go away. No matter how much I was like, I don't want to deal with this. It's not my thing. I'm okay with just being a little old, you know, regular person in Tennessee, and I just don't want to deal with it anymore. Even though you say that, it never goes away. And that was a long time ago. Gosh, that was like 20 years ago. And, you know, look at me now. I'm doing it now because I embrace my gifts, right? So I'm thankful and happily out of all the closet. It's a wonderful, freeing feeling, isn't it, Cecilia? When you can actually truly be yourself, and not only for yourself and to honor your witch and to honor the spirits, but also to heal people. Because when you do spirit communication, it's not only about speaking to the dead, because, you know, the people who have passed on. And I don't even want to say but the people, because I talked about in some of the posts earlier this week, it was Pet Appreciation Day. And you can speak to pets who have passed through the veil. Netta said, not embarrassing, but having and explain every time I accidentally say something someone doesn't understand, it's exhausting. I know. Yeah. You have muggle speak, and then you have spiritual witchy speak, right? So it never goes away. As much as you try to ignore it, it just never goes away. But fear of being judged. And, you know, you're right, Netta, the imposter syndrome before spiritual work. Yeah. I think it's easier when it connects to spirit, and I don't want to start or steer people wrong. Here's the thing with that, and we're going to talk about that. And I'm going to tell you some tips that I use to overcome my imposter syndrome with communicating with spirit. But before we start that, I wanted to just circle back around that about the subject I started out with, when we're talking about speaking to spirits, and not only for ourselves and honoring our ancestors, but also to heal people. Because with spirit communication, they kind of just don't show up and just say, hey, I just kind of want to hang out. I don't have anything to say, although sometimes they will. Most of the time, the spirits come to you because they have a sense of urgency for a person on this plane. They have a message. They have an important revelation. They have some karmic energy. They have something that is going on that they need to release, or usually it's guilt. So most of the time when you do spirit communications, it has nothing to do with you. It's most of the time for your clients, and it's most of the time to heal the collective and to heal what went on during the passing. Okay, so with spirit communication, it's a lot of healing, a lot of releasing, a lot of acknowledgement, and a lot of just helping your client get past the things that are keeping them from moving forward, and they want to hear from their loved ones on the other side. So just keep in mind that you need to let go of the ego, and this is one of the tips that I'm going to share with you, is that you have to let go of your ego when it comes to spirit communication, because it is not about you. It is never about you unless the message is for you. It's going to be a bigger, broader type of energy that you're going to be working with, and a bigger type of, not, I would say problem, but a bigger type of question and answer than just the ego, right? So release the ego. Don't think it is about you. And when you step into your powers as spirit communicator, and you start actually honing in on your clairs and working your clairs and practicing your clairs, you will become more confident and you will become better, and you will actually trust yourself. And that's the other biggest thing that we talk about, is trusting yourself. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of us don't go into spirit communication, because we are afraid that we're going to get it wrong. We're afraid that you're going to give the wrong information. You're going to afraid that what spirit is coming through and trying to tell you is not correct. So, and that's where ego comes in, right? What if I get it wrong? You're never going to get it wrong with spirit communication, ever. You may get it, because our view is different than their spiritual view. Okay, so the time is different, answers are different. This may happen in the future, or the other client just isn't open to it, or they just don't want to see it. They just want to shut down. But you have to be confident in knowing that spirit would not tell you anything that is not correct. Okay, trust is big for you. Hey, Neely, how are you? Haven't seen you or heard from you in a while. Doubt was last year. Yeah, doubt. MJ's been working a lot on self-doubt. Yeah. So another thing that I always talk about when helping you overcome kind of an imposter kind of syndrome when it comes to spirit communication is separating the feelings from the fact. Okay. There are going to be times when you feel dumb. You feel like I'm going to get this wrong. You feel stupid. It happens to every single one of us. Even though I've been doing spirit communication for a long time, I didn't start out that way. I didn't start out, knowing what I was doing. I just kind of like winged it until I kind of figured out my own kind of path and my own kind of way of connecting to spirit, right? But I kind of just wasn't allowed to ignore my gifts anymore. And I'm sure you guys are feeling the pull also to step into your clairs and your spiritual gifts, and you're parting the veil, right? And you have to realize that just because you feel stupid, or you feel like that's dumb, I don't know why I'm getting like a smell of roses, when this person is, clearly gone, and it was maybe a man and didn't like flowers or something. Why am I getting a smell of roses? But it doesn't mean that you are. So separate the feelings from fact, because that's going to, get you out of ego, and it's going to help you really realize how powerful you are, and that, you can give that message to that person, because this is what I always say. It doesn't have to make sense to you. And this is the way our brains here on earth like to rationalize things. We like to put things in boxes. But our job here when we do spirit communication is not to analyze. It's not to figure it out. It is not to try to make sense of things. Our job here is to convey the message to your clients, to your, spiritual communication sessions, for yourself, for your ancestors, whoever you're calling in to communicate with. You want to separate yourself from that. Let me catch up on comments. I definitely feel a pull. Yeah. I've been helping others to release doubt. Yes, I'm so glad. You're not alone with that one, love. Oh, awesome. I love it. So you guys are kind of resonating with this, right? Imposter kind of syndrome and some of the fears. So, and you want to recognize that sometimes you're going to feel a little bit fraudulent, because you're going to feel like, maybe I didn't put the time into it. Maybe I don't have my PhD. How many people are like struggling with that? Like, man, there's not a PhD in spirit communication. I don't have enough class time. I don't have enough hands-on time. Maybe I'm too old to start this shit now. Maybe I just need some more training. Maybe I just need to spend 5 years apprenticing before I can actually step out and be seen as a powerful spirit communicator. So you really want to just recognize that some of that stuff that's coming in is not true at all. That's you, your ego, keeping yourself being safe. And I want to help you to realize that you need to develop a healthy response and to failure and mistake making. Here's the thing that a lot of us have talked about. Never too old. I know, Lisa. I didn't get my master's degree till I was in my mid-30s. Yeah. So, hey, Annette, thanks for joining me live. So yeah, it's never, ever, ever too old, because the time is right when it's right. And I think some of, when you're older, it has a lot to be said to people who are older and want to step into learning more about themselves. I think you're more focused, you're more, in tune with who you are, you're more, kind of like less likely to be a people pleaser when you get older. So I want you to really look at how you view failure when spirit communication. So you didn't get it exactly right. Okay, maybe this person was gonna get pregnant in May, and she didn't get pregnant until August, right? It's okay. She still got pregnant. Okay. Celebrate the wins, celebrate the things that you do get right in spirit communication. So don't look at things as a failure. Don't, and I want you guys to really switch the way you think about what is a success story and what is a failure story to you, which I don't think anything is a failure. I think everything is a learning opportunity. And say, for instance, the person said, when am I going to get pregnant? And the spirit comes in and says probably May, but she doesn't get pregnant till August. Maybe you didn't ask the question right. Or maybe the opportune prime time for her to get pregnant wasn't until August. Or maybe the spirit and the universe is like, she wants to get pregnant in May, but ideally, maybe she's got some health problems going on. Maybe, the child isn't going to be reincarnated until August. There's so many unknown factors. That's why we never second guess ourselves. This is why you say, when this is what spirit is telling me, and this is what I'm going to convey to you. So I want you to rethink how you feel about failure and success, right? And say, heck yeah, I got it right. She is going to get pregnant. I'm so glad that you got pregnant, because I'm going to tell you, she doesn't really give a damn if you didn't come up with the exact dates. You're like, hey, I didn't get pregnant in May, I got pregnant in August. She's still going to be ecstatic that she got pregnant. Okay. So switch around the way you think about failure and success. Hi, Miley. Now I'm so happy with all my witchy teachers. Oh, A lot of the people that are here today are in the academy, so yeah. Another thing that I like to do is I like to visualize success. And visualization is a powerful tool. Spend time beforehand, before your session, before spirit communication, before seances, or however you do spirit communication, picturing yourself being connected to spirit, flow with spirit and with the ancestors, and visualize yourself in the center position, being a conduit of messages, and it's just flowing out of you with ease and with being in tune with the High Priestess. And just sitting there in a calm position where it's just the energy is just flowing back and forth. It's like no other experience in spirit communication that you've ever had in your entire life. It's so powerful, and you're doing it with ease and without resilience, right? Or resistance. So I want you to do a lot of visualization before you start opening the spirit communication. Visualization is a powerful, powerful tool. Let's see. Cecilia, Lisa was talking to Cecilia. I've got my associates. I'm working on bachelor's yet, but I'm not stopping. Yay, Lisa's going on to get her PhD. Call me Dr. Lisa. It's Dr. Lisa in the house. Awesome. See what you do when you set your mind to it. Okay. And another thing of stepping out and releasing the fear of being seen is to release the fear of judgment, because I am here to tell you, people are going to judge no matter what you do. And to be honest with you, people don't give a damn. You know, and I always have my like 3 F's. If they're not effing me, right, funding me or feeding me, I don't care. So remember the 3 F's. That's a little bit blunt, but that's kind of how I see my life now. I've been living by that motto for a long time. I don't care. People are going to hate you. People are going to judge you. People are going to not want to take time out to try to learn what it means when you talk about spirit communication. Those aren't your people. That's not for you to spend time and to change their mind or convince them that you're not a devil worshiper, or that you're not opening portals with demons, or you're not doing all this crazy crap, because you're not. You're like, okay, fine, bye. I got other things I need to do, because you have a bigger opportunity and you're here for bigger things than to sit and try to convince someone what you do is not evil, what you do is healing, and that you're not weird, and that you're not damn crazy, because you're wasting time with those people. Instead, you could be sitting with clients, helping them heal. So if they are not on your side, if they are not intrigued by what you do, if they're not there to uplift you, if they are not your ideal people, who your sisters or brothers in your circle, you need to like part ways and be gone and be done with it, because you need to know that you have bigger things to do in this world than try to convince someone of who you are. That was the biggest thing that I had to release too, is the fears of what people are going to judge me. And I think you kind of get used to that. You don't give a damn attitude when you get older, right? And you're like, this is never going to go away. I have to step into my power. I have to work on my clairs. I want to do spirit communication. This is what I'm supposed to do, so I'm going to do it. So who cares about judgment? Seriously, who cares? You have to get that attitude about, I don't care. I hate to say it, but you really just have to be like, I don't care what you think about me. You're not, like I said, you're not a client. You're not a friend of mine. You know, you're not my ideal person I want to hang around with anyways. So take your closed-minded crap somewhere else, and I'm going to go hang around some witchy friends who we can sit and talk about seances and Ouija boards and demons and entities and spirit communications and seeing auras and watching, you know, people coming in and out through the veil. And that's the people who you want to be around with, not these people who are going to judge you, right? I want you to make a list of all those people that you're going to just release from this day forward, And you're just going to leave them on their merry way and let them find their own path, because your next level has nothing to do with where they're at now. They're dead weight. Pun intended. Did y'all get that? So let me catch up on comments. I hope you all heard that. I hope you all heard what I just said about judgment, because judgment is the death of spiritual people, because really of everybody's dreams, right? And to be honest with you, at the end of the day, the only thing you have to answer to is to yourself. Really. Are you living to the highest potential every single day of your life? Is there something that you regret at the end of the day that you're not going to let control you anymore? What is that? I said the attitude is all part of my life. Yep, exactly. Someone who is new to this and trying to convince you that you are doing it wrong, clear them out. Yeah, and don't ever listen to someone who is telling you that you are doing spirit communication or your magic wrong, because they are closed-minded. They want to control you. They don't want you to go outside the box. They don't want you to learn from anyone else. They don't want for you to expand and become more powerful than them. And that's another thing that I talk about in my spirit communication challenge, and also with my students, is your magic is your magic. You do your magic that is right for you, and don't let anybody else dictate to you how you should do your magic, because I have been a victim of that. And it does nothing but shut you down and give you self-doubt and makes you feel powerless. So don't listen to them at all. So, and I hate to get on my soapbox about this, but I cannot stand it when people have shrink, or they go back into their powerless kind of life, where they let other people dictate to them what they should and shouldn't do in their magic. Or how they feel like they can't do it because of lifelong negative talk or negative self-talk. That will get my goat every single time, and I will stand up for my students, and I will stand up for anybody who wants to witch and become a spirit communicator, that you do what is right for you. And you can be successful. You can be powerful. Don't let anybody else dictate to you what your life is and what your life should be, because they're basing that on a paradigm that's theirs. That's their life, not your life. You are powerful. You're a witchy. You're a magical. You're spirit communication. Hell, I mean, you talk to spirits. Do you think that the muggle, mundane, Betty on the corner is going to associate and to relate to that with you? No. Beige Betty, you can go on somewhere else with that crap. So, the next thing I want you to do, which really helped me release some of the fears, the self-doubt of working with spirit communication and becoming more magical and building up my confidence, was to reward myself. A lot of people really forget that when they're getting intuitive hits, and when they got some, things that are right, that they forget to reward themselves. And you need to break the cycle of not having to get everything 100% right. You have to acknowledge the small things that you get right in the beginning. And then it starts changing your vibration, and it starts changing the way you think of spirit communication and the fear of getting things wrong. Because I'm going to tell you, you're not going to be 100%. You're working on these things, right? You're developing your own key to spiritual communication. You're developing this. You're working together with spirit. So it's going to be some wonky energy going on, some mishaps, some misinformation that's going to be passed through. But I want you to celebrate and reward yourself and pat yourself on the back for the small things that you get right when you're doing spirit communication. And that's going to start building up your self-confidence. And that's going to really just work on the energy of releasing that, oh, I didn't get that one wrong, right? Oh, well, who cares? But I got 5 right. Maybe I just didn't get one exactly right, but I got 5 right. I did, she feels better. I helped her communicate with her uncle. Maybe, the boots were kind of not right. Maybe it was shoes instead of boots, or kind of thing. But celebrate the positive, celebrate the things that you did get intuitive hits on. And that's going to start releasing the fears of not being right, the fears of judgment, right? Talked about that also. Hey, Jeanette. Had to wave at Jeanette. I think it's an excuse to treat myself to a new crystal. Yes, exactly. I believe it is too. So, trip to the store, anyone? I know. I wish y'all were here and also we could do a witchy field trip to some crystals and some witchy shops. All right. So, let's pull up the workbook and let me see what we are going to be working on today. All right, so day 2 is going to be working out, right, what your fears are about being a spirit communication person, okay? Yeah, Netta's like, oh, I know, right? So, and I want you really, in the workbook, you have a pretty good space, but if you need more space, get another piece of paper out. And I want you to really look about what is stopping you from becoming a powerful spirit communicator. What is holding you back? Is it fear? Is it judgment? Are you afraid that you're going to open a portal? We're going to talk about all that cool stuff tomorrow, right? I can't wait for tomorrow either. So really dive deep into what is holding you back and where it's coming from, because you need to start releasing that and writing that out and actually analyzing it and be like, that's not even true. That's not my story. What we're doing is we are rewriting the way you think about spirit communication. We are rewriting your life as a powerful spiritual communicator. So don't forget to do your daily divination draw, whichever one you want to use, tarot, oracle, rune, bones, pendulum, whatever you use for your daily divination. Let's pull a card and see what you need or what your biggest fear is about becoming a powerful spiritual communicator. So I don't know, when he said, I don't know what it is that's keeping me back. The witch wound. Yes. How do we heal that? We need to recognize it. We need to actually usually I do a cord cutting ritual. We need to recognize the wound. We need to honor that wound with a powerful ritual. We need to cut those ties, not the ties that bind you to like who you were as a witch, right? But the wound and the self-doubt and the fear and the wanting to hide and not be seen. Those are the type of things that you want to release from that kind of energy. Cord cutting and releasing and actually honoring that from keeping you safe. Okay. Yeah, the witch wound. It's a big thing. So, and then we have a little prompt that says, today I want to release. So today is going to be a little bit tough for you guys, right? The first day was kind of fluffy bunny, right? And now we're starting to get into the deep internal work of why you're not accepting your gifts as a powerful communicator, spirit communicator. Why are you afraid? And this goes deeper than surface level. Why are you afraid? And some of them, like Wendy said, was a witch wound. So where did it come from? Did it come from negative talk? Did it come from your parents? Did it come from lineage, generations of not being able to know that you can be powerful and make your own life and your own decisions? Did it come from a female wound? So where does this actually come from? Okay. So work on your workbook. Make sure you post in today's daily thread. And everybody who is on the sign-up sheet will get the replay. Usually replays, I think, are going out every day at 8. So another wound here. Yeah, you guys got a lot of wounds. Yeah, I think it's past life for me. Yep. All these are great answers. Which wound, right? Past life wounds. Yeah, you guys are on the right track. Yep. Ancestor wounds. Awesome. So make sure that you are signed up. Make sure that you are posting every day so you guys can be in the drawing to win on Monday. and work on those things that I talked about, how to release your fears, on how to deal with the imposter syndrome, and start putting that into motion today. Start implementing those today. I can't remember if I had coffee or not, but obviously I think I need some afternoon coffee. So, all right, everyone, thanks for joining me today. And if you guys are catching the replay, I hadn't forgot about you. I'm up, replying to all the replay folks. So don't forget to post in day 2. I would love to see what revelations you have and what you're releasing to step into your power. And we will see you tomorrow at 3:33 p.m. Central for day 3. Witch on, everyone. Bye.